about handwriting. If you're new here, you might not know this, but I have a huge passion for handwriting. And if you're not new here, then this isn't news to you because I talk about handwriting quite a bit on this channel. I have other videos about handwriting and I share about handwriting often in my emails and on my social media channels because I think it is so foundational for our kids. Handwriting helps with all areas of literacy. I don't want you to think of reading and writing as separate. They are two sides of the same coin, and handwriting helps that reading development. When our kids have proper handwriting formation, they are able to more easily learn their letter names and letter sounds. It is more fluid for them. When they are writing, they are able to focus more on the spelling, focus more on the composition, the ideas and the sentences that they want to write down, instead of having to focus on the mechanics of how to form this letter. There are so many benefits to good handwriting instruction, and I don't have time to list them all, but I will put a link down in the description box so that you can check out the blog post that I did all about handwriting and its importance, especially for our little ones. When they are in pre-K and kindergarten, we want to set them up for success. There are so many ways we can do that for handwriting. But that is not the purpose of today's video. The purpose of today's video is to talk about one specific type of letter when you are teaching handwriting that is going to be super fun for your kids to learn, especially if you make it fun using the magic C. In case you're new here, my name is Erin. I'm from littleslovelearning.com. I'm a former classroom teacher. I have my master's degree in early childhood education, and I spend my time now teaching parents and other teachers how to teach kids to read correctly and effectively based on the science of reading. So my main goal for this video is I want to show you all about the magic C letters, which are so super fun for kids if we make it fun, and if we don't, they can be very tricky for them to write. Handwriting instruction is so crucial that we want to make it fun and engaging in any way that we can, because let's face it, it's not the most fun and engaging thing that kids do during the day. But by incorporating something like magic C letters, you're able to engage your little one in a more effective way. So first things first, I believe that our little ones should learn uppercase letter formation before they learn lowercase letter formation. So if your child is still in preschool or pre-K, even if they're at the beginning of kindergarten, if they haven't mastered their uppercase letters yet, they're not quite ready for the lowercase letters. I have an entire video all about this. I will link down below so that you can check it out and see why uppercase letters are so important to start with when you are teaching handwriting. But this video is about the magic C letters, which have to do with lowercase letters. So let's say your child is ready for lowercase letters. Then we are going to introduce them to a special group of letters called the magic C letters. These letters are all made by starting with the shape of a C. So when your child is learning how to write a C, which is usually not a super tricky letter for them to write, they are going to come up and around like this, and then they have their C. The coolest thing about Magic C is that you are going to tell them that there's a group of letters, and these letters are all going to have Magic C hiding inside of them. In fact, in a kindergarten class I was in recently, we were pretending that Magic C was a spy, and he was hiding inside the other letters, but no one could know he was there. But we had to start with Magic C so that he could hide inside of those letters, and they loved it. They felt like he was a spy and he was a detective, and it was so cool. So anything like that that you can incorporate is super fun. So of course we start with Magic C, making sure they have that basic penmanship, that stroke down. Then we are going to show them all of the different letters we can hide Magic C in. The first one is lowercase o. We start with Magic C and we just close it up. This is really good for kids to know because a lot of the times with an O, what they do is they start at the bottom and they come around. We call that starting at like 7 o'clock if you were imagining a clock face. And they go backwards, and it's really tricky for them to make the rest of the letters that have the same shape because it just causes them to keep going around and around in a circle, which I have seen before. So if they start with Magic C and then just close it up, it makes it nice and easy for them. Now our next letter is going to be lowercase a. So we're going to start with magic C, close it up, and come straight down. And that's going to be C hiding inside the A. Again, this is super helpful because what do we normally see with little ones who are trying to write a lowercase a? We usually see maybe that looks more like a Q, or maybe this. They just add that line at the end. But if they know they have to put magic C inside of that A, they're going to start with the C shape, close it up, and come straight down. It's going to make their life so much easier. All right, our next one, lowercase d. C turns into a D. So we're going to start with magic C, all the way up, all the way down. The reason this one is the most important magic C letter, in my opinion, is because lowercase d and lowercase b are the most confusing letters for kids. Of course, they are just flipped in the opposite direction, so it's really easy for kids to get them confused. So instead of teaching some trick like B has a belly and D has a diaper, you don't even have to do that. You can just show them how they form lowercase d. C turns into a D. You can teach them the alphabet song, A, B, C, D. So when you show them C turns into a D, they're always going to have the right shape. And then you can make sure that they know lowercase b starts at the skyline. That's what we call it, the line at the top. Or you could say it's a stick letter. It starts with the straight line. That's what you want them to know. Straight line down, up and around. So when they learn the difference between the letter formations, it helps them identify and write lowercase b and lowercase d more clearly. All right, so we had magic C's hiding in lowercase d. Now we have magic C hiding in lowercase g. So we're going to start with our C. We're going to close it up. We're going to come down and we're going to hook. So we call that going into the worms. So we have a hook line going into the worms. So lowercase g. And then we have lowercase q. Now again, lowercase p and lowercase q really get kids confused. They can get tripped up between those. So we want them to know that lowercase q is a magic C letter. So we're going to hide magic C up. We're going to come down, and now we're going to go in the opposite direction from our G. So it's really great to teach kids right and left. We work on that a lot in kindergarten so that we can just use the correct terminology, that Q is going over to the right. We also talk about when we teach letter Q, that Q is always followed by U, almost always followed by U in English words. So when we teach magic C turns into a Q, we know that Q is followed by U. So that's how we tell kids that the hook is pointing toward the U, because U is Q's best friend. Or sometimes we like to say they're married. So the Q is pointing toward the U, toward his best friend. Now, sometimes Q is just made magic C, close it up, and straight line down, kind of like a 9. It's important that kids know that that can also be a Q, because a lot of time when they read books, that's what they're going to see. It doesn't have a little tail or a little hook. I prefer that kids write it this way. Sometimes it's written magic C, straight down, and then it's a point at the bottom. And that's fine as well. I like them to have the hook because I want them to know the difference between a Q and a 9. But it's important that they can read that this is also a Q. Okay, so we have one more magic C letter, which you might not think is a magic C letter, but actually it is a little bit. It's the lowercase letter S. So we start with a little teeny tiny baby C, and then we go around the other way for our lowercase s. So we actually did start with magic C, just a little baby one. He's hiding in there, and then we can have our S. So there you go. Those are the magic C letters. We start with this same shape for all of these letters, O, A, D, G, Q, and S. So now I'm going to show you a video of a 5-year-old writing all of his magic C letters. I want you to see how we cue him and we have him turn magic C into an A, magic C into an O, because we want him to have the correct formation for all of these lowercase letters. And I want you to see how he is able to do that. He does a great job. All right, let's see our magic C letters. Let's start with C.
C.
All right, now C turns into an O. Can you show me an O? Good. C turns into an A. Can you show me A? Beautiful. C turns into a D. Show me D. Nice. C turns into a G. C turns into a Q. Yes, excellent. C turns into an S. Great job. I hope this information has been helpful for you. Again, if you'd like more information about handwriting, its importance, how we teach it in preschool and kindergarten, please check out the link below to my blog post all about handwriting. And please check out the links to all of the handwriting videos I have so you can check those out as well. If you have any questions about this or anything else I share on my channel, you can go ahead and comment down below, or you can find me on my website, littleslovelearning.com. I am also active on social media, so you could reach out on Instagram or Facebook. I'm at Littles Love Learning Blog. I would love to support you and your child on this journey, especially with handwriting, since it's so important to me. And I know as a teacher that you as the parent are the best teacher of handwriting. What you can do one-on-one with your child is so much greater than what I can do in a classroom of 25-year-olds. Trust me, teaching handwriting whole group to a class of 25-year-olds is much more difficult than teaching it one-on-one to your child. So you can do this. They need you to work with them at home so that they can really master these letters, especially these magic C letters. And they are going to be so appreciative when they have handwriting that is fluent, that it's easy for them to make these letters, and then they can focus on the more important things like spelling and writing those sentences. Until the next video, I hope you have a great day. Thanks for being here. Bye.